Over the years, regrettably, each honourable member of this August House is only given about 15 to 20 minutes to raise issues concerning their constituencies and the state as a whole. Therefore, it is hoped that in future the sitting of the August House will be held more frequently, say at least 3 times a year, and for each sitting it will be lengthened to 12 days instead of the current 8 days, so that the people's voices may be heard more often. It is also hoped that this August House will be more generous in giving written answer to the honourable members in the event that the question lapsed during question time. If the Parliament could do so, I do not see any reason why it cannot be done here. Mr. Speaker, under National Budget 2016, Federal Government has allocated a sum of 29.2 billion ringgit for development in Sabah and Sarawak. Should we feel happy about it, considering that it is nearly 10.9% of the nation's total development expenditure of 267.2 billion ringgit. Sarawak, which is blessed with abundant natural resources, has been the main contributor to Malaysia's economy. However, over the years, we have been abandoned and marginalized by the federal government. The allocation of such a pittance sum of 29.2 billion to be shared between 2 large states is grossly inadequate and self-evidently unfair to Sarawak. The irony is that, despite the peanut sum allocated to Sarawak, the Deputy Prime Minister still has the cheek to say that we have been given increased allocation and it is to win Sarawak state election. After the BN rules Sarawak for 52 years, Sarawak is still 20 years lagging behind West Malaysia in terms of development. All this proves that BN government does not really have Sarawakians in their mind. The increased allocation to Sarawak is nothing more than a move to give election candies to the voters before election. The Chief Minister has also complained during his budget speech that the fund allocated to Sarawak is insufficient. Tidak cukup, he said. But Mr. Chief Minister, what is the use of complaining here while the 25 Sarawak BN MPs are sleeping in the Parliament, approving the national budget, which is grossly unfair to Sarawak? Looks like your 25 MPs from Sarawak BN are more than happy with the little allocation from the federal government. When the 25 BN MPs from Sarawak were given the chance to oppose and to show their dissatisfactions over the little allocation to Sarawak, they should make full use of it, but they did not. Yang Amat Berhormat Chief Minister has repeatedly mentioned that he wants to fight for state autonomy in 8 areas of administration. However, what we need is not only the autonomy in administration, but the state's power to collect revenue to finance the policies and implementation of any decision made by the state government of Sarawak. Get the money back first, then you will have the power back. Mr. Speaker, Pan Borneo Highway has been much talked about by BN government year in, year out. Yet until today, we have not seen a single highway in Sarawak. We only have a Pan Borneo trunk road in Sarawak. Mr. Speaker, I quote the Borneo Post reporting dated 11 November 2015, wherein the Honourable Minister of Infrastructure Development has told the press that 16 billion by the federal government to upgrade the whole of Pan Borneo Highway, spanning 1,090 kilometres, is too little to implement the whole project. He further commented that with such allocation, the Pan Borneo Highway simply could not be constructed with real highway standard. It was chicken feed for the project, in his own words. According to the Honourable Minister, if we want the quality of the highway in Kuala Lumpur, it will cost minimum 20 to 30 million ringgit per kilometre. But with 16 billion allocated to us for the whole stretch, we can only have a road that costs about 10 million per kilometre, and that some stretches of the highway might have to remain 2-lane instead of the planned 4-lane. With such budget, what standard could we expect of Pan Borneo Highway as promised by the BN federal government? Hence, it is highly likely that the standard of the so-called highway will be further lowered. Is the state government going to compromise on this? Given the fact that our state has been the major contributor to the national coffer, our state has every right and shall stand firm to get sufficient funding to ensure that Pan Borneo Highway is a real highway and not a highway in name only. Mr. Speaker, in September 2015, SUPP President made a stunning announcement that the Sarawak government has decided to recognise UEC as the entry requirement to the state civil service and state universities. How marvellous! The Chinese communities are so thrilled by this much-awaited good news. Mr. Speaker, however, while the Chinese communities are still overjoyed by the said announcement, UEC soon hit stone wall with UNIMA's announcement that it will not recognise UEC as entry qualification. In fact, Ministry of Higher Education has also repeatedly reiterated that the federal government would not recognize UEC. No matter how strong word the Chief Minister may utter against the federal government for refusing to recognize UEC, be it stupid, very stupid, or super stupid, the fact is the UEC holders will not be accepted into our public university without a note from the Ministry of Higher Education, unfortunately. Mr. Speaker, having said that, we should not overlook the fact that the power to employ UEC holder into state civil service rests absolutely with the state government. If the Chief Minister is serious in UEC recognition, the Sarawak State Government shall immediately make it clear as to whether the so-called recognition by the state apply to all the state civil service departments or just some of them. What are the criteria on the recruitment of UEC holders? If there is indeed employment of UEC holders into state civil service, how many of them have been employed till to date? How many of them have been given Yayasan Sarawak scholarship? If the Chief Minister is sincere in his words, which sound so dear to the heart of the Chinese communities, do not delay. Walk your talk now and do it before the upcoming state election. Mr. Speaker, in respect of illegal logging, although our Chief Minister claimed that substantial effort has been made to curb the problem, I'd like to tell the Chief Minister that the problem still persists and it is not as positive as what he thought. Though there has been some progress in the right direction, the journey to curb illegal logging is still a long way to go. Recently, I've received complaints that the illegal logging have been going on at Sungai Pasir area in Sarike since 1 year ago. It is learned that there are 2 timber camps in the area affecting Lot 68, 69, 99, 120 and 172, all in Block 51 Sarike Land District. Look at these photos, Mr. Speaker. Look at these photos. These photos shows that the illegal logging is still rampant. Mr. Speaker, even small trees were chopped down. Look at it yourself. The Honorable Assistant Honorable Minister of Environment is here. Yeah, we heard that this problem can be looked into seriously. Look at it. The size of the lot is so small, and then this is still going on the ground there.
Can you prove that that is illegal logging or just some photograph?
This is for the ministry concerned to verify and to look into and investigate into the matter.
You tender it to the House?
Mr. Speaker, I was informed that the raids were indeed conducted 3 to 4 times at this area until today. Correct me if I'm wrong. However, the illegal logging activity resumed almost immediately after the officer left the areas, and I was told the matter can be counting or settled by giving 200 to 300 ringgit each to the forestry officers. Mr. Speaker, according to the informants, the illegal loggers seem to be well informed. This is the information I received from one of the landowner.
Unless you can substantiate it, you have to withdraw.
This is for the ministry to go and check on the ground. The forestry department should go to the ground.
You cannot just make any allegation.
This is the forum that we need to bring this matter out.
You have to withdraw it.
Do it, but actually it is still happening.
Are you withdrawing?
Mr. Speaker, this is the photo evidence. I will give you the photo.
Honorable member for
and then it's for you to check. It is the state government.
You have to withdraw that statement.
Verify.
Unless you have to substantiate it.
No, this is the allegation.
No,
this is the allegation. This is the information I received from one of the landowners.
Are you withdrawing or not?
If you want to withdraw, if you want me to withdraw that part, that 200 or 300 ringgit is given to this forestry officer, right? You
that
want to withdraw that part?
Accusing some offences.
I'm not pinpointing to anybody. I'm saying that there is allegation. You should look into it. It's for you to look into the matter.
Remember?
If there is no such problem, you can always have it.
You can look at that.
You can look at the problem. So let us look at the problem. Let us look at
under
it.
the standing order,
Mr. Speaker, what is the part that you want me to withdraw?
Okay.
What is the
Mr.
part?
Speaker, what I'd like to say is that it looks like the enforcement officer on the ground are not heading to the core of the Chief Minister to combat illegal logging.
Yeah.
If I may use the word of the Chief Minister, ada mata buta, ada telinga pekat, ada mulut bisu. With such
No, you asked
attitude
just
of
now
the
about some
enforcement
officers
officer.
receiving $200 or $300.
Okay, I will
That
go
was
that part,
said.
but
You
that
withdraw
is
that.
for the minister concerned to verify and to check.
Standing order.
I raise
Standing
this so that it can bring
No,
to the attention of the ministry. I don't
if
mean
you want
to
to make a report,
I don't mean
it's
to
not to
be
decide.
Why
Not
you
to
so
need to
decide.
be so
You just
defensive,
know
Mr. Speaker.
Oh, I disqualify you as your.
I'm not
Okay?
pointing to
You want to-
anybody.
Are you going to discontinue it?
Yeah, that part, okay. I will
Okay,
go
we
that
do it.
part. Yeah, I just want to continue
Standing
my
order.
speech.
Okay,
Yes.
go ahead.
Mr. Speaker.
Standing order.
Yeah.
Standing order. Mr. Speaker.
What's standing order?
What order? What
order?
standing order are you
Speaking.
referring to
He is
by
making-
asking her
To
to
withdraw.
withdraw?
Yeah.
What standing order?
She is making a serious allegation.
Yes,
up to
but
you
what
to
standing
say.
order? What standing order are you relying on?
Yeah.
To ask her to withdraw? There's none.
Yes, there is.
Yes, you refer.
Say this.
Can you refer any standing order? Don't just ask people to withdraw.
So defensive.
It's only when allegation is made against one of the member in this house
I'm not alleging.
without substantiating. He is not, she is not. She is not, she's
Make a
making
serious
an
allegation.
allegation.
No.
Yes, but not against any member of this house. It's
Yeah.
only
You
when it's
cannot use,
against some member of this
you
house.
cannot use the privilege to make any allegation.
If we are governed by standing order, unless we
No.
have a separate standing order. Unless
Yeah,
there is
yeah.
Speaker, I believe that speaker does not
Alright, I
speak.
discontinue the speech.
You are just
Hey, continue.
plucking something out from the air.
Continue my speech.
他 stop 掉他了啊。
Continue.
Continue.
Mr. Speaker, I've not
Quite not finish. How
Yeah,
can you
yeah,
stop
I'm
like
your
that?
member
my
for
15 minutes is not
Beting
up
Maro.
yet.
She's not finished yet. How can like that?
She keep on persisting. I told her to.
She already said withdraw, ma. Why you don't allow
Okay.
him?
Okay, go on.
Go
Go.
ahead.
Come on.
Stand up.
Some more.
She already said withdraw.
Open.
kasih, Datuk Speaker.
Mr. Speaker.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum
She
warahmatullahi
already withdraw.
Salam
She
sejahtera.
already withdraw.
Order. Terima kasih di atas penguatan yang diberikan kepada saya untuk turut serta mengenai